Good morning. Very good morning, sir.
Vishesh, during the interview, I might be taking notes, so don't mind me. You may continue with your answers,
Sure, sir.
right? So let's go ahead. Can you please start with your introduction, maybe a little bit about your education background, your family, and your hobbies?
Sure, sir. Let me take you through my story. Hopefully, I'll justify my namesake in the same as well. Sir, I come from a family of four. My father is a businessman. My mom is a primary teacher. I grew up in this small town in Himachal called Solan, which is also popularly known as the Mushroom City of India. I did my schooling till my class 12th over here. And this is where I actually developed an interest for technology, in particular hardware. And this interest is what inspired me to take up electronics and communication engineering at NIT Hamirpur for my graduation. So at NIT Hamirpur, I got to learn about new technology, like all daily life technologies, like how basic mobile phones operate, how communication channels work. And I was also able to contribute to the functioning of some societies at NIT Hamirpur, like a public relations club, for instance, which I headed for 2 years. And I also headed our cultural fest in my final year, which actually saw its biggest footfall ever. Over here at NIT Hamirpur, I was placed on campus in this company called Ithium Systems. Ithium Systems works on in the field of video encoders. I contribute to the optimization of Google's libbaby1 video encoder, basically compressing the video streams to make sure that we can stream videos seamlessly using less data. So the technology that is making the video call we have right now possible. It's been really fun working over here, and I've got to work on tons of new technologies. Apart from all the shop talks, sir, I love to play musical instruments in my free time. I play 5 of them. And I also love to read novels with Agatha Christie and Rick Riordan being my favorite authors. So that's all about me, sir.
All right. So, Vishesh, have you pondered upon what specialization you would like to take up in your 2 years of PG?
Sir, not as of now. I am fairly open to all specializations because I do not have as such a dead set role in mind. I do know that I want to get into a technology company post my MBA, wherein I want to contribute to any product related team whatsoever. But what specialization I'm going to take, I'm fairly open to that. Possibly after my first year, I'll be better equipped to take that decision.
Don't you think that this is a sign of procrastination? You might not be doing things on time, and this might be an
Uh,
area of improvement for you.
So that is definitely one way to look at it. But I feel that after the first year, like all MBA colleges, there is a reason they have common subjects in the first year. After the knowledge of all fields, I might be better equipped for that decision. Plus, all major MBA colleges in the country actually offer us the option of not having a particular specialization at all. So that is one direction that I'll definitely be looking at. Since I've always believed that jack of all also holds its merit. So that is the reason why I'm fairly open up as of this moment.
So, what's your motivation behind going for an MBA? When did you pass out? Can you specify of graduation?
So when did I? I'm sorry, please repeat the question.
When did you graduate? When did you pass out of your
So,
BTech?
right. So I graduated in 2019. I've been working at Ithium Systems for the past 20 months now.
Okay. So yeah. So what's your motivation to
Right,
join
sir.
MBA?
Right. So actually, it was during my engineering itself that I realized that more than the product development part of things, I've been interested in how a technology is or a product is rolled out into the market. That is something that has really interested me always. So, for instance, over here during my work at Ithium Systems, when I've been developing the encoder for 20 months now. But when it was rolled out to Google Duo and Google Meet, that was the time when I was most excited during my entire work span over here. So that is what always interests me, how a company rolls it out, makes an impact in the public, and how people adopt it, and it helps them make life better, so as to say. So that is when I realized that an MBA would be the right course for me to pursue this career goal.
But don't you think that you're already doing it? And maybe if you spend a couple of more years in the organization, the good companies are fairly open to give you cross-functional opportunities. You might lead programs, you might lead projects. There is no barrier to that.
That is definitely true, sir. But I believe that, like, if, for instance, if I stayed at my current company as well, or even if I decide to switch, my knowledge is going to be limited to the place that I work at. I might gain knowledge of the products that they are working on in specifically and their market, but it won't be very holistic. On the other hand, if I go for an MBA, I'm going to interact with not just the faculty who have years of experience over there and learn from them, but also from the diverse set of people that are going to be my peer in my batch. So learning from all their experiences is definitely going to increase my knowledge to a new level.
All right. What do your peers stand to gain from you? Why should, what makes you better?
Sir, I would say I am like, I would say I'm very approachable. I like tend to I am always able to strike up conversation with everyone, make them comfortable around me. I would call myself a good team player, and I think my peer would call me that as well, which is what helps me really be so as to say, a bonding factor in a team. And that is something I feel is very important in any organization whatsoever, a person who can make everyone work together well, which is something I've always done, be it in my college when I headed a cultural fest as well. It went very seamlessly. I'm very proud of it, to be honest. And that is why I feel that I'll be able to do well even in an MBA.
All right. And, maybe some hard skills like, you know, what you're doing in your job, maybe something on the product side, something on specific project platforms or, programs.
Right, sir. Sir, over here at ATM Systems, my work has been primarily on video encoder optimization. So for the same, I have worked on technologies like networks, and as of today, I'm working on multi-threading, introducing multi-threading into the video encoder. Sir, one thing to note is like, all these technical skills can be learned over time by everybody. But the fact is that I have been able to learn them very quickly. I'm a quick learner. It's about the challenge of learning, I would say. Whenever some new problem or some new technology comes in front of me, I really get excited about it. Which helps me learn it quickly and implement it quickly. And that I think is my biggest strength. So that is something I've been able to demonstrate over here well at APM Systems, and I hope to do the same later on in my life as well.
Right. Right. All right, Vishesh. So let me put you in a hypothetical situation. Okay.
Sure, sir.
So let me say that you want to start up your own online food delivery venture, cloud kitchen. So I just wanted to answer that what are your major competitors in this market? What are your key ingredients to your team or to your venture? At least two of them, without which you cannot enter this market. And the third would be, what would be the differentiating factor of your venture so that it stands out and lasts in the long run?
Right, sir. So, sir, just to confirm once, I have to create an online food delivery startup which has to stand out from amongst its competition. I need to identify its competition, what are going to be the key components in getting the same up, right?
Your major competitor first. Second is the key ingredients or the key attributes your startup must have
Right.
to survive. And third is the differentiating factor. Maybe couple of them.
All right, sir. All right. So, can I take a couple of a few seconds to think about it?
Sure, sure, definitely.
Thank you so much. Right, sir. Sir, in the food delivery business, my primary competitors would be our very own Indian unicorns like Zomato and Swiggy. And recently, even Amazon has ventured into this business with Amazon Foods. So that is going to be one major competitor in the field as well. Now, to create a food delivery business, the two major components that I'll need is a good network of good restaurants which offer quality food for a good price as well. So I'll need to make sure that I get many great restaurants on board on the application and they actually sell through it. And the second would be the network of distributors that I have. That is the delivery people. So I need to make sure that I have a very comprehensive network which covers all areas, and I can ensure that in each region there is at least one or two people like that, like a delivery people.
I don't believe that the two things which you have told me they are different to each other.
Uh, Sir, I would say they are. For example, if I were to consider like a simple samosa place, for instance, I go to any sweet shop, I want to buy samosas from over there. Now, I need to make sure that I have a shop that sells a quality product, but they might not have their own delivery people for helping the same. So I also need to make sure that I get a proper network of delivery persons established as well, who can go over there, pick that product, and deliver it to my footstep as well. I think that is something Zomato and Swiggy have achieved really nicely with their network, and I feel that it is the backbone of the entire business.
Right. But the two things which you are telling me are the absolute necessities to survive. They both are network associated. So
Uh, I'm sorry, sir. Could you repeat?
they both are network. They both are a system of distribution or network.
Right, right. All right, sir. So, sir, if that is the case, if we consider them as a single network factor, then the second factor I would put up is the quality of the application that I have, which actually lets people order. So, need to make sure that it's very simple to use and bug free. It does not need to be very fancy with a lot of animations and stuff. Just simple enough that anybody can navigate through it and know what they want to order from where. So, I think ease of use is the major factor over there. Something very complicated will prevent people from taking it up because they just have to do a lot of work just to order a single food item, so as to say.
All right, Vishesh.
So the
So,
difference.
so all right, we'll move on. We'll move on.
Sure, sure.
So, can you tell me three major takeaways or three, points of consideration which must be or highlights for the budget which was declared,
Uh,
union budget?
sure, sir. Sure, sir. Sir, personally as a techie as well, I would like the biggest takeaway for me is the introduction of metro technologies, Metro Light and Metro Neo, which I feel is going to help the conditions like traffic congestion in big cities amazingly. Living in Bangalore, I've seen that being a big issue, and introduction of new metro and easier, so as to say, cost-effective metro technologies is definitely going to help over here. In all, sir, the focus that the government showed this year on capex is very welcome. Everybody was expecting that. I think it's around 17% the boost in capex. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So, and with a particular emphasis on rural roads. So that is really nice. That is definitely going to help India get out of the COVID pandemic. Plus, sir, I would say the second would be the emphasis on healthcare that they had. Although, to be honest, we have to be a little skeptical of the same, since the majority of expenditure is actually on the COVID-19 vaccine and sanitation itself. So we don't know if this allocation to healthcare is going to hold in the future. But if it does, it is really amazing.
Right, right. And going forward, can you tell me two problems with the current proposed farm reform and the two advantages for farmers? Should be very distinct points. Huh?
All right, sir. All right, sir. Sir, advantages. Sir, the first advantage has to be that their product is going to become more accessible to everybody. The introduction of private players in the market is definitely going to help. Competition always helps the economy. The more the number of players, the more the farmers get for their value the farmers get for their product. So that is going to be the biggest advantage. Plus, the move to get more and more farmers onto online selling platforms is welcome, since now they can do the same from the comfort of their homes and do not necessarily need to go around to mandis to sell their product. As for disadvantages, sir, I feel the first disadvantage, like the first biggest issue with the farm laws, is not the farm laws, but the way they were implemented. So the government should have educated the farmers well before actually introducing these laws, but they did not do so. It was very haphazard, so as to say, and that is what got triggered the protests in the first place. Most of the farmers' concerns are actually because they do not really know how it's going to impact them. For instance, they feel that private players coming into the market is going to get them, like they might lose out on their land. Like contract farming is
Okay.
like
Okay, Vishesh. So, lot of content, lot of content. All right. So,
like,
let's just conclude. So, can you tell me your vision for yourself for maybe long term, 10, 15 years down the line?
right, sir. Sir, I have been, as I told, I've been really interested in hardware. What I'd want to do is be a part of a technical organization which creates amazing products, something very cutting edge, state of the art, and help it, uh, like, so as to say, penetrate the market well and make sure that it impacts daily lives. That is what I want to do. It could be any company, like the Boring Company, for instance. It could be any startup which converts petrol vehicles to electrical vehicles. I'm fairly open to the kind of product they have, but as long as I know that it's going to create a difference, I would definitely want to work at a place like that.
All right, all right. Okay. So, all right. So, feedback. Because
Right.
sometimes you are explaining too much and maybe not hitting the right context. Okay.
Okay.
That the positives are that there is a certain flow and there is a confidence. I like that. But when I ask that what you could your peers learn from you, like I'm very approachable. That's very low impact answer.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
because you have to tell about hard skills which you have, and
Right.
I pointed that at the same time. You have to tell that because when it is not only about the behavioral skills, and even if it is behaviorally, it has to come out something like conflict management or leadership, which
Right.
which might be something which is very impactful. Being
Right.
approachable helps definitely, but it lacks a certain impact. That
Right.
answer lacks a little impact. So maybe you just need to fiddle it around.
Right.
Want to find out daily life solutions for people, that is your vision for yourself, that's fine. All right, that you can do in the medium term. That can be done in the 2, 3 years down the
Right.
line or 5 years also. Because once you pass out,
Right.
you can get into that company. And if you get out of a good big school, mostly you will get
Right.
such chances. Okay. But long-term vision means that you want to lead a corporate company, or you want to lead a startup, or you want to be a tech mogul, or you want to venture into the investment fund, investment banking, or
Right. Right.
something like that. It
Right.
has to be although it is a very long-term answer, but it has to have certain level of specificity.
Right. Right. Understood.
And on the budget thing, I think most of the things were covered. We could have spoken a little bit about privatization because that is like the talk of the hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Right, sir. So actually, over there, I was thinking of adding points from a techie's perspective to.
And no, that's fine. Metro Light and Metro New, those are good examples. Generally, people don't speak about it. So I like that
Right.
you had something different to say.
Right.
And yeah, product launches. Every answer needs a little bit more refinement, and there can be more
Okay.
impact because I think
Understood. And
there are certain things which you have done and have created impact. So just that is the feedback from my side. Yeah.
all right. All right. So understood. I'll work on the same.
Okay.
You have any
All right.
yes, sir.
I do not have
Yeah.
any questions as such. I think most of it, which I wanted to ask, anyways, was covered in the feedback.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right. All right.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
I just